Now,
okay, should we just explain?
Let's explain. He's dressed as Father Christmas because he did play Father Christmas. He was an impersonator, and he's been sacked for being too fat. Are you denying that you were too fat, or just that it's...
I either deny it or admit it.
But how can Father Christmas be too fat? It's all part of the thing.
Well, that's what I always thought. And then I suddenly saw a photograph of my backside hanging out of these trousers.
Can you put your outfit on, actually? Can you put the beard and everything on?
I will a bit later on for you.
Thanks, man.
So I'm looking at this. Obviously, Father Christmas can't get round absolutely everywhere in the run-up to Christmas, and therefore the impersonators are needed at various places. You were working in Windsor, presumably quite near where I live. And the gear that you've bought looks the part. You really do look like Father Christmas. And in fact, actually, if I walked past you in the street dressed like that, I would believe you were the real Father Christmas. You know why I'm saying all this, don't you, Mike? And so obviously now we want to discuss why you were sacked as a Father Christmas impersonator.
Yes.
Right, okay, this is where it's different, you see, because I wasn't going to wear this gear. This is my gear that I wear, and I've been wearing this for the last few years. I've got several outfits. I've been doing the Father Christmas bit for the last 10, 15 years. And it was rather strange. I joined Lapland UK, which are based, as you know...
Is that lap dancing club you used to go to, is it?
Well, you know, we kept that quiet, Ash. That's where you and I used to take me when I was younger.
I remember that. Disgraceful.
Yeah, and... so what happened was, you see, I decided I'd join Lapland this year, and they got their own uniform, which is nothing like this at all. It's not traditional at all. So
What, the like bunny tails and the high heels?
No, that's the other place we're talking about.
I'm getting mixed up.
No, this is the Lederhausen's that cut the...
I'm getting you in more trouble now, aren't you? Sorry.
Well, my wife doesn't, at least she's asleep at the moment, so it's quite safe.
That's good.
Whichever wife I'm with this year. Anyway, so it's as I was saying, so they've got their own outfit, you see. So they had all my measurements, and the whole thing starts next week. So I go along to the wardrobes, as they call it, and I do all my fittings. I think this is a bit tight, all this stuff, and that's fair enough. And I said, you've got all my measurements. How come this is so tight? Anyway, so they said, fine, you look wonderful, and we'd love you to do all the bits and pieces you're here for. The next time I got a letter just a few days ago. Now, bearing in mind I start on Tuesday, I got an email 2 days ago to say, regrettably, the outfit you've got doesn't fit you properly, and we're not prepared to spend money on buying a new outfit for you. Which is a bit weird. So therefore we fired you.
Is it a roundabout way of firing you, basically? It's like our call of Big Ken when they got sacked for the bus driver.
But hang on, just to be clear, you have been a Father Christmas impersonator for years. The uniform that you bought there is clearly quite... I don't know whether they're expensive or well-made, but either way, I would believe you were the real Father Christmas if I saw you. So what they're saying is, the crummy uniform that we've got doesn't fit you because you're too fat to be Father Christmas. Hard to know where that's going. And we won't let you wear your own uniform because we want you to wear the old rubbish we've bought. What on earth are they doing? I mean, is this an attempt to pretend that Father Christmas is a skinny guy?
Yeah.
Funny you should say that, because there's a WhatsApp group amongst the Father Christmases for Ascot. Another chap came on the other night before I got chucked off because I made a comment. The other chap said I thought body shaming was illegal, and I said why? He said because they said I'm too thin and I've got to wear a fat suit. And I said that's a bit weird because I've been told I'm too fat and I've got to go.
So you need that Goldilocks weight to get the job there, but it's a way of getting rid of you, isn't it? That's just a roundabout way of getting rid of you.
Exactly. Well, that's what it seemed like. Although they did offer to pay me off. They pay me 5 days' money plus a fitting fee, whereas I would have worked for 70. How many hours did I do? About 35 days. 8-hour days, so you work out how many hours that is, and I've lost about 10-15 grand.
But here's the problem, Mike. Here's the problem. You know, it is unfair on kids because there is only one Father Christmas and he can't make it to all the shopping centres and all the grottos and whatever. So we do need all these impersonators. But, you know, I remember when I went to see these Father Christmas impersonators, you know, the really good ones really got you in the mood for Christmas. Obviously, Mum and Dad would pretend it was the real Father Christmas. We know it wasn't, but okay, fine. But little kids would enjoy all that. And to lose an experienced Father Christmas. And you said it was actually in Windsor Great Park that you were going to do it. That's a real shame.
Yes, in fact... Oh, especially for Prince Andrew as well, you know, it was all organised for him. So,
you should go down the Pizza Express down there. He's down there. But the thing is, you actually, I bet you did a really good job because you come from a great lineage of actors of Peter Sellers. He was your uncle, wasn't he? And I can see now with you, he was your cousin. But you were in the disguise now, and you remind me your face of when Peter Sellers used to put you a bit like a fat Peter Sellers, aren't you? So maybe that's. You should become a Sellers impersonator. Do you know what I mean? But I bet you were really good at the character acting as well, weren't you? At being Father Christmas.
Well, yes, it's funny you say that, yeah. I mean, I do the I-360 in Brighton, which is that tower down on the seafront where pod that goes up and down. Yeah. And I was doing that for quite a few years, and I'm doing that again now this year. And I'm not just an ordinary Father Christmas. I'm not an ordinary Santa. I entertain the kids, you know. I tell them stories. I do magic tricks. I get really involved in, the whole thing.
The other thing I want to ask you is this ludicrous situation about sitting on the knee of Father Christmas. I think
you can't sit on Mike's knee, not in his condition.
I understand. I mean, I just feel like that was part of it, and the whole, you know, you can't get the proper photo sitting on Father Christmas's knee and all this. I just think that talks to a world where we're so suspicious of absolutely everybody. And also, I think there's nothing wrong with saying that you enjoy that interaction. You think that interaction's good. It's the way that the adults are meant to treat children.
Well, actually, I do have children of my knee.
You've got about 23 children, I remember.
Well, I keep trying about
that you know about.
Yeah, I know about it, that's for sure. No, but seriously, I do that thing. I'm DBS checked, so I'm police checked. I've got no criminal record whatsoever, contrary to British demand. I've never stopped having children on my knee.
Yeah. Oh, really? You never have?
Just looks at a woman and she gets pregnant.
Most parents want to put their kid on your knee. I'll tell you something. I was Father Christmas in Malta 4 years ago.
That's a great honour, that is.
Well, for the Maltese government, it was fantastic.
The Maltesers.
Well, actually, Father Christmas there is a bit like the Pope, and we saw more adults than we did kids. Mm. And I'll tell you a very quick story about how serious they take this.
You didn't bounce them on your knee, though, did you?
It was
the best thing about the Pope, by the way, in my view, is that he's got a fuse on the top of his head. I'd love to light the fuse and see what actually happens.
He wears a yarmulke.
This woman sat on my lap and she said to me, I said, "What would you like for Christmas?" And she said to me, "I want a baby." And I said, "Well, I'm a bit busy at the moment. Come and see me a bit later, you know, sort something out." Anyway, so after about 3 or 4 women doing the same thing, I realised that these women wanted babies. You know, they were infertile.
They wanted your celebrity sperm. That was what it was, fertilisation, yeah.
Well, it used to be yours.
Did you give them their wish?
No, of course not.
I'm
a bona fide, very serious. I'm a very bona fide, very serious Father Christmas. Oh boy.
Naughty Santa.
Exactly. I remember you and your little child.
I know you did. Well, actually, you know some of my mum's friends in Brighton. Well, tell us about Brighton, because that's changed a lot. You live. By the way, if you need a Father Christmas in the area, he's available for hire now, and he's a proper one. He doesn't need any padding. He can do it properly. But yeah, what's going on in Brighton with it? Because you were a councillor, weren't you? And now you're with Reform, I think. A couple of decades ago, you were a councillor. What are you seeing in Brighton? Because that's totally changed, hasn't it? Since I used to go.
Brighton itself is very disappointing. In fact, I'm a place called Shoreham by Sea.
Yeah.
They had the air crash there, of course.
Yeah. You used to present the air show, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, literally. And I was there, sadly, the day of the crash, which was awful. I worked for a TV channel down here as well. Yes, I joined Reform. Yes, so I'm not sure if I'm meant to admit that at all.
No, it's all right. We're not in any period. So you're going to run for council in what? In Sussex, East Sussex, or is that what you're going to do?
Well, you know, East Sussex and West Sussex, of course, keep cancelling these elections.
That's
so
right.
They're going to do an 8 or 9 year term the way they're going.
It's a disgrace to democracy, though.
It's total. There's no democracy whatsoever. But Ada and Worthing, which are the two areas in West Sussex, hopefully there will elections be taking place in May of next year. Unless, of course, they try and cancel. They'll try and cancel them again now. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Now,
But Brighton itself is becoming a horrible place to live.
Why?
Well, you actually on the nail there about anti-Semitism, of course, is rife. The council itself have taken in an awful lot of asylum seekers, as have Worthing, but Ada.
I'm quite surprised by that, Mike, because what I would have expected was the liberal lefty LGBT type people. I would have expected to wants Britain to take in a lot of asylum seekers, but not put their money where their mouth is and have them in their actual area. Did you see Question Time the other week where they were going on about how it was a disgrace that Robert Jenrick had complained that parts of Birmingham had no white people from a place that was 99% white?
Well, yes. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I don't watch Question Time. Actually,
No one does.
I hate it since it's changed. I think Question Time's about the worst programme on BBC.
You've got No Brainer Rainer moving in down by you, you know. So are you looking forward?
We saw her move.
Well, yeah, because I heard a couple of months before through my mum's friends network. You know that she was looking at a flat there. Yeah. So you excited about that? It wasn't you that scrawled on the wall, was it?
No, not me. No. But I did see her moving. And the marks are still there.